Good evening, members of the Cultural Arts Commission. My name is Julia Estrada, Management Analyst and Liaison from Cultural and Community Services. Tonight, I'm going to be providing an update to the Commission on the Art and Public Places Mural Grant Program proposal. This is new information for our newer members and a review and update from any longstanding members of the Commission. So quick background on what the Arts and Public Places Grant Program has meant in the past. In 2020, this grant process was terminated based on updated parameters for the use of public art funds. Previous grant processes for all aspects of art. Based on these parameters, it can only be used for what the state determines is public art. In 2022, we began a formal discussion of what a new process can potentially look like and began to create a proposal and discussed what that grant might look like. And in 2023, at the start of the year, the Cultural Arts Commission had a large turnover of commissioners and the discussion had to be paused. The grants programs are listed in our Cultural Master Plan, so it is a goal of the Commission to provide grants to support local artists. So what is the Public Art Grant? The City of Oxnard Public Art Grant Program originally was designed to assist Oxnard artists and local nonprofit organizations in providing public art experiences to the community. Each grant cycle, collectives, organizations, and a variety of Oxnard artists could receive funding through this grant. In moving forward, the proposal is to install public art to support the initiatives and increase arts culture in the City of Oxnard. So what was discussed previously with the Commission is that the grant program would be open to all Oxnard-based artists and nonprofit organizations. What was discussed was $15,000 allocated to be awarded for repairs to public art. And these grants could range in size from $1,000 to $5,000. $95,000 was discussed to be awarded on a competitive basis for new public art. These grants could range in size from $1,000 to $15,000. Applicants will be required to make a specific grant request for their project. And if a nonprofit arts organization decides to apply for these funds, their request cannot exceed 10% of their annual budget. How will this work? So what was discussed is that eligible parties can apply for a mural, sculpture, or mosaic installation or repair with this grant cycle. Applications will be judged on a rubric and used to rank applications and determine final award amount. Award amounts are determined by the program ask as outlined in the application's budget sample, which all of this will be designed as the discussions continue. So grant funding would be recommended by a panel of no less than 3 jurors. And these jurors will come from art experts, community partners, staff, or City of Oxnard commissioners, with the exception of the Cultural Arts Commission. Since they are the voting party, they will not be able to participate in the juror process. Chosen jurors will be trained by city staff on what it means to be a juror with all of the parameters for their scoring, the mission and vision of the Cultural Arts Commission, to ensure that we have well-trained, well-informed judges to evaluate these applications. Who would be eligible for these grants? So as I previously stated, it would be Oxnard-based artists and 501c3 organizations. Proof of both residency, so an address in the City of Oxnard, and proof of a 501c3 in good standing with this state will be required. as it states on this slide, this would come straight from our packet. And so additional requirements will be listed in the packet to lay out all the specifics for the applicants. Will every application be funded? So unfortunately, not every application will be funded. This is what was discussed with the commission previously. So while it may be the intent of the City of Oxnard and Cultural Arts Commission and staff to award the entire amount that is appropriated, the commission and the city do reserve the right to reject any or all applications deemed to be non-responsive, reallocate funds between the award categories, not award the entire amount that was appropriated, suspend or cancel the grant program, and specify if a primary focus will be in downtown. So this is all part of what we're working through still, but it is the right of the City of Oxnard to cancel any grant program that they offer. And the Cultural Arts Commission is an extension of that theory. So they will be the ones that will vote on the applicants to make the recommendation to City Council, but City Council and City Administration could cancel this program at any point in time. So what are the requirements that we talked about? So I just wanted to pull out a few of them that I wanted to bring to the attention of this commission of what we would be requiring of these applicants. So none of these grant funds would be eligible to be used for payment of any debt interest, remodeling of their facilities, interior furniture or fixtures, any lobbying, travel. None of that will be part of these grant funds. These grant funds must be used directly for installing of public art. Government organizations and nonprofit organizations that receive budgetary support from the City of Oxnard will not be eligible for this grant either. So this will be for projects that are not related to city property in the city's public art programs. This is for public art on private spaces. So organization requirements. So they must be an Oxnard-based nonprofit. They have to be in compliance with city code. They have to certify that they are not delinquent in paying any debt to the City of Oxnard. And they must have, if they previously participated in the old Arts and Public Places grant program, they must have been in compliance in all of those requirements, including a completion of their final report. Additional requirements will be established, such as where this public art can be located. There are some parameters in this state, and that is what will be discussed in future meetings of what that actually looks like on the location. These are just the requirements for eligibility to apply. So if a nonprofit group does receive financial or in-kind support from the City of Oxnard and they believe they should still be eligible, they can apply, but they need to specify that they do receive some sort of support in their application. Failure to report that will immediately disqualify them from the grant period. Or these organizations must operate so as not to discriminate on the basis of race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, age, natural origin, or disability. For individual and collaborative artists, their requirements are pretty simple. They just need to be from Oxnard. They need to be an Oxnard-based artist. They have to submit proof of their current residency within the City of Oxnard boundaries. They do have to have a history of artistic works. So they had to have created an independent body of work in the arts or as part of a cultural arts program within the last 3 years. They, as an individual, must also be in compliance with all city codes, laws, and ordinances in their installation. And they need to certify by means of signature on the application that they too are not delinquent in paying the city any debt. So what would be the next steps? While this still needs to be discussed and there are areas that have not been defined yet in our discussion, the next part would be the initial legal review. So this does need to go through our city attorney's office to make sure that we are in compliance with what public art funds can be used for. So if there's no additional items to be discussed at this stage, we can begin the legal review. There's also an administrative review that will have to happen to ensure that we have the administrative support to monitor and administer this grant. While that's happening, that's when the final details will be discussed with the commission as far as timeline, what an application would look like, what those other requirements are from the state. All of that will come back after we get some legal and administrative reviews and feedback from them. And then once all of that has been compiled and finalized, then it will be time for the commission to make a recommendation memo to City Council via the City Manager's office. So we are still in the discussion phases of this. We are not in the we are not at the stage to actually implement this program. This is still a continuing discussion. So on that note, tonight's meeting is to receive this update as well as begin the discussions of what else needs to be included and moving forward with our next steps. At the time of this meeting, I will be available for questions as well as to assist in facilitating this discussion. Thank you.